Welcome to the How to Play tutorial for Rock, Paper, Scissors, Bomb. Hello, my name is Kirk. This tutorial will work for both the Tabletop Simulator and printed cardboard versions of the game. I'll give you a brief rundown of the rules, and at the end of the video, I'll show you 2 example playthroughs. A quick note, if you're new to Tabletop Simulator and would like to learn the basic controls, just head to GameGoblin.com, scroll down, and you can click my YouTube channel icon here. That'll open up my channel, and you can find Tabletop Simulator 01, the basics tutorial. This will give you everything you need to know how to manipulate and use all the cards in Tabletop Simulator. If you already have Tabletop Simulator, or you just got it loaded, to be able to get Rock, Paper, Scissors, Bomb, just head to GameGoblin.com again. Click on my Steam icon here. That'll bring up my Steam Workshop page. From here, it'll have all my games. Just click on Rock, Paper, Scissors, Bomb, and scroll down. Be sure you're logged in, hit subscribe, and it'll show up when you load Tabletop Simulator. Rock, Paper, Scissors, Bomb, the intro. If at any time you would like to read the rules are here on the table. You can right-click it, hit search, and this will bring up the rules, and you can just read through them page by page. That's if you need them during the game. For now, Rock, Paper, Scissors, Bomb is a 4-player game played in 2 teams of 2. If I'm green, my partner will be blue, sitting across from me. We'll be on the same team. And the opposing team will be red and orange, sitting across from each other. You play a series of hands, scoring points at the end of each hand. The goal of the game is to be the first team to reach 500 points. The game is played with a 40-card deck, right here. The deck is comprised of 3 suits instead of 4. The suits being rock, paper, and scissors. Show you some of those. This is the 12 cards of the rock suit. They are numbered 2 through 13. 13 is always high, 2 is low. When you're playing tricks, if the lead suit is rock, when the trick is done, the highest ranked rock suit will take the trick. To score points, there are points on the even cards. The 2, 4, and 6 are worth 10 points. The 8, 10, and 12 are worth 5 points. And they're just represented by little coins on the cards there. The next suits are scissors, built exactly the same way, numbered 2 through 13, and the even cards have points. And paper, numbered 2 through 13, even cards have points. There are 4 special cards. The 1 will always be the lead card played. So at the beginning of a game, you'll deal out all 40 cards to all players. Each player will have 10 cards. Whoever is dealt the 1 will always open the first trick. They'll play the 1, and they'll determine if it's rock, paper, or scissors as the lead suit. It also is worth 10 points at the end of the game. The other special cards are the bomb. The bomb is the ultimate trump card. Normally, when you play a trick, if the lead suit is paper, if you have a paper, you must play it. But the bomb is an exception. You can play it at any time to trump the suit. If you play it on a trick, it's going to steal the trick no matter what the lead suit is. The 2 poison cards are also special cards. They can be played at any time. Even if the lead suit is paper or scissors or rock, you can choose to play a poison and poison the trick instead. You're going to want to play this on a trick that the opposing team is going to win, because at the end of the game it's going to be worth negative 15 points. And the green poison is worth negative 30. Playing tricks. Let's see how those suits interact. I've taken a page out of the rulebook and blown it up a little bit. The first card played in a trick will determine the lead suit. So if the first card played is a rock, rock will be the lead suit. That makes paper the trump suit, and scissors the dead suit. Now if you lead with rock, all players must play rock if they have it. If they don't have a rock, then they can choose to play a card from another suit, like paper or scissors. If they play a paper, the paper is going to trump rock. So the lowest paper is going to trump the highest rock. If they play a scissors, the scissors is the dead suit for the whole trick. These stay the trump suit and dead suit even if one of them is played. So let's say the first player plays a rock, the next player trumps it with a paper. And the third player plays a scissors, even though they played a scissors and scissors beats paper, it's still the dead suit for the hand. Let's play a couple hands just to show how this works. The opening player, whoever has the 1, is going to open the hand with the 1. Play this, flip the 1. They're going to choose rock, paper, or scissors. He's going to go ahead and choose rock. So the next player in line, clockwise, has to play a rock if they have it. Sure enough, he's played the 12, the rock. The next player, if they have a rock, they must play it. He also has a rock, so it's going to be a 7. And I'm going to have to play rock if I have it, and I do. So this hand, everybody had rock, and it was all played. The highest one, the 12, is going to take down the trick. So we'll take these, group them together, flip, and this player won, so they're going to take the trick with the 12. Now that they've won the hand, this is a little bit different than other trick-taking games. It's more advantageous to go last in a trick. So the person to their left is going to open the trick. So the person who takes the trick will always go last. So he won the trick. We'll go to the next player. They're going to play a scissors. It's going to play the 13 of scissors. If I have a scissor, I must play it. Flip it. Sure enough, I do. I got a 3, so I'm just going to throw away a 3. If they have a scissor, they're going to play it. They're going to play 4. And then my teammate. They do not have any scissors, so they can play paper or rock. He's going to choose to play rock. So analyzing the hand, the lead suit is scissors. The trump suit will become rock, and the dead suit would have been paper. But even though the 13 is the high of the lead suit, the rock will trump the hand again, and my teammate will take the hand as well. Flip. So they're going to take this trick. Set it over here. We'll just group those together. All right. They've won the suit, so the player to their left opens again. This player will play out their card. And the lead suit is going to be paper. If I have a paper, I must play it. Sure enough, I do. I play a paper. Their teammate. Okay, this player does not have paper, so they can choose to play rock or scissors. He's going to choose to play rock at this time. Paper is the lead suit, and rock is the dead suit. So this player will play a paper as well. So paper is the lead suit. Rock is dead in this trick. 12 is going to take it. Flip it. Group it. Now this person has won the trick. They get the honor of going last, so the person to the left, me, is going to open the hand. I'm going to go ahead and open it with rock. Rock is the lead suit. If you have a rock, you must play it. He'll play an 8. My opponent is going to play a 10. Give me some points. And then this player will choose to play the bomb. Now, as I said, even if this player, the bomb can be played at any time. Even if this player has a rock, they can go ahead and play this to take the trick. The bomb beats everything. So they're going to take the trick down. They'll flip it, group it. They'll take the trick. They've won the honor of going last. So the person to their left is going to go first. I will open again. I start with paper. Paper is the lead suit. They play a paper. They play a paper. And finally, they can play the poison just like the bomb at any time. He knows that I'm going to win the suit, so he just poisoned the hand for me. So I had some decent points built up. I was going to get 5, 15, 25 points, but instead they poisoned it with 30. As the 10, the highest paper, I'm going to flip, group, and I take the trick. And finally, let's do one more trick example where all the suits are played, just to show you what happens. I'm going to open this trick with a rock. So the player to my left must play a rock if they have it. Sure enough, they got a rock, it's fine. My teammate plays. They don't have any rock left, so they're going to throw the dead suit, scissors. This card is dead. It's going to lose to my rock or whatever else is played. The player to my right, my opponent, is going to play a paper. Paper is the trump suit. So lead suit, dead suit, trump suit. Trump suit is going to beat everything. So the highest paper is going to take this trick down. So they're going to take this, flip it, group it, and they've won the trick. Let's cover the rules for special cards when they open a trick. If you open a trick with a bomb, you are going to get to pick what the lead suit is. So if I lead with a bomb, I can call rock, and everybody's going to have to play rock if they have it. and that will make paper the trump suit and scissors the dead suit. If I open a trick with either of the poisons, then I'm not going to choose a trick. The next person in line can play any card that they want, and that will be the lead suit. Let's give the 2 examples of this. Get rid of these. Say that this player is going to open with the bomb, and they're going to call rock. Now, if I have a rock, I have to play it. So I'll play a card from my hand, flip it. Sure enough, it's a rock. This player, if they have a rock, they must play it. They played it as well. And finally, my teammate will play a paper. That means that they did not have a rock, so they chose to play paper. Even though paper is the trump suit of rock, the bomb trumps everything. So the bomb will take this down. So if you open with the bomb, you do get to choose the lead set group. All right, they've won the hand, so the player to their left will play the next trick, so I will play. And I'm going to open with a poison. Now that I've played a poison, I do not get to choose. So whatever card this player wants to play will be the lead suit. They're going to lead with paper. So now paper is the lead suit. My teammate plays a paper as well. And finally, they have a paper as well. So I opened with a poison. I do not get to choose what the lead suit is. This person played and they chose. They win the trick. Flip group. And they have to take the poison. At the end of the video, I have a couple playthroughs with full hands that you can see all the way through to make it just a little bit more clear. Setting up a hand. Now that you've seen how tricks are played, let's set up a hand and deal everybody their cards. To start with, I want to touch on Nil Bets a little bit. For your first hand, and maybe even possibly your first game, I would suggest playing it without any Nil Bets. A Nil Bet is a bet that you are not going to take any tricks in a hand. I will cover that more in detail later, but for now I want you to be aware of them and the timing of when they were called. A blind nil would be a bet that you would make before any cards are dealt. So before I deal any cards, I ask if anybody wants to make a blind nil. If they do, they can flip the chip over, and they're betting 150 points that they're not going to take any tricks. Once those decisions are made, I'll deal out 5 cards, and everybody will review the 5 cards, and then I'll ask if anybody wants to bet a big nil. And if they do, they can flip it over. If not, they just leave it gray. And finally, deal out the rest of the cards. And after all 10 cards are dealt, ask if anybody wants to bet nil. And if they do, they'll bet 50 points that they're not going to take any tricks. And once that decision is made, there will be a pass. And we'll cover that right now. So starting, we're going to set up one hand. We're going to shuffle, hit R for random. Shuffle up the deck. And then you can right click and click deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now before I dealt these cards, I would have asked if anybody wanted to do blind nil, and they would decide. Now that we've dealt 5, with 4 players, when I hit deal, it's going to deal 5 cards to everybody. So personally, I'm going to review these. And from here, we'll decide if we want to do a big nil or not. Let's say that I did. I could flip it over. If not, I could leave it face down. Once everybody is made their decision and flipped or not, let's go ahead and deal the rest of the cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we've dealt out 10 cards. Everybody will have 10 cards. These 30 would be distributed to the other 3 players. And from here, the players would review their hand, put them in order, and decide if they wanted to bet nil or not. For now, I'm going to say that I'm not going to bet nil. Put these here. Get them in order. Now, before any tricks are played, there is a pass phase. Let's say that this is my teammate's hand. If neither of us called nil, we're going to pass each other 1 card without speaking. You can't talk to your opponent and make any suggestions of what you're going to pass or what you're looking for. This is just going to be a silent pass. So let's say I'm going to give them this rock. And they're going to review their hand and they're going to pass me 1 card. Once we both have made our decision, both cards are on the table, they'll take it. I'll take this one, put it in my hand, flip it over, and add it and review. And then our opponents will do the same thing. All of this is blind, so before you pass, make sure that if I'm going to pass this card, I flip it first, and then I can put it on the table safely. Then when I put it in my hand and it's safely in my hand, I can flip it over. There is a special rule for Nil Bets. You pass 2 cards instead of 1. I get to review 2 cards. I'm going to flip this one over, and since I'm betting nil, I don't want the bomb. So I'm going to pass these 2 cards. And my opponent will review their hand, and because I bet nil, they're also going to we as a team get to pass 2 cards. So they're going to pass 2. I'm going to take these 2, give them to them. I'll take these 2, give them to me. They'll take those in their hand. I'll take these, flip them over, put them in order, and then we begin playing. So if no nil bets are made on my team, we'll pass 1 card. If any nil bets are made, let's say that we both made 2 different nil bets, then we're going to get to pass 2. No matter how many nil bets are made, you can just pass 2. Nil bets. After playing a practice hand or even a practice game, you can introduce nil bets. There are 3 points in the deal that you can make nil bets. Before you deal, you can make a blind nil. Before you see any cards, you can bet that you're not going to take any tricks. Very risky, but it's going to have a higher reward. Then the dealer will deal out 5 cards. You get to review those 5 and decide if you want to make a big nil after you're dealt 5 cards. So you're going to get to see half your hand and make a big nil bet. Finally, the last nil bet is the regular nil. After you're dealt all 10 cards and review it, if you think you can play the hand without taking any tricks, you can bet nil. So let's start there. If you bet nil, you're betting 50 points. If you succeed in taking no tricks, you will gain 50 points. If you fail and are forced to take a trick, you're going to lose 50 points. Note that if you are forced to take tricks, your team will get the points for those tricks. So let's say that my teammate, I called nil, and my teammate and I ended up taking 40 points worth of tricks. We're going to gain that 40 points, but because I bet nil and I got stuck with it, I'm going to lose 50 points. So we're only going to net 10 points for that hand. Big nil is a little bit more risky. After you're dealt 5 cards, you can review your hand, and you can bet 100 points that you're not going to take any tricks. And finally, the riskiest, the blind nil. If you're successful, you'll get 150 points. And if you are not successful, you're going to lose 150 points. But those are the 3 types of nil calls. At the end of the video, I will have a hand played through with a whole nil bet just to show how it goes. Double nil bets. So double nil, double big nil, and double blind nil. If my teammate and I both make the same nil call, if we both call nil, the bet is going to change a little bit. Instead of just each 50 points, we're going to risk 300. If we both succeed in taking no tricks, we're going to gain 300. If we both fail, we're going to lose 300 points. If just one of us fails, say that my teammate doesn't take any tricks, but I do take tricks, we're only going to lose 200 points for that. Any tricks that are taken are still going to be positive. If we both make a big nil bet, we're risking 400 points. If one of us fails, we're just going to lose 300 points instead. If we both call blind nil, that's a double blind nil. It's pretty risky. If we're successful and we take no tricks, we're just going to auto win the game. We both fail, we're going to lose 500 points. And if just one of us fails, we're going to lose 300 points. These double nil bets are only if we make the same nil call. If we make different nil bets, say that I bet nil and my teammate calls big nil, this is not a double nil bet. We're just going to live or die by the bet that we made. So if I take no tricks, I'm going to gain or lose 50. And if they gain no tricks, they're going to gain 100. And if they take a trick, they're going to lose 100. Scoring a hand. Now that a full trick has been played, easiest way to score, take both teams' hands and just combine them. We'll score mine first. Just going to set this up here, flip it over. And we're just going to separate all the cards with coins on them. And looks like my teammate and I did not do too well. Here's one. And I'm just going to lay out the cards that have coins and set aside the ones that don't. Let's see, get it a little closer so I can see what these are. 5, 10, Then go through. Bomb has no points. Another 10. I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65. So the green and blue team will go down to the scorecard here. Just right click, edit the description, green and blue. What did I say, 65? All right, now the cool thing about the scoring is that I know that there's 100 points total in the deck. So the other team is going to have 70, should have 35 points. And we'll sort theirs the same way. They're going to have the poisons in here. So we've got 10s, 5s. Just do the same thing, put them in the same piles. We'll set the poison here. 10, no points on these. Another poison, 10-point card. 5, 5, 10 points. All right, so right off the bat, they've gotten both poisons, so they're going to have negative 30 and negative 45. So all I'm going to do is take 10, 20, 30, 40, and 5, and that'll cancel each other out. So we got negative 45 with the poisons and plus 45 with those cards there. We'll just group those. And that leaves us with 10, 20, 30, 5. Just like I said, 35 points. And they got 35 points. So we would shuffle up the cards, deal out another hand, play it through, and then we would just add the scoring from that round to these here. Game end. You will continue to play a series of hands until one team has reached 500 or more points. At that point, the game will end, and whichever team has the most points will win the game. There are a couple other game end scenarios. So, the game ends when one team reaches 500 points or more, or negative 400 points. So if a team reaches negative 400 points or less, that will also end the game, and whoever has the most points wins. The other scenario that we covered in nils, if a team calls double blind nil, and they both succeed in not taking any tricks, that will also auto win the game. Also, the negative points, if it ever puts any team at negative 400 or less, that will also end the game. Let's set up a hand and play it all the way through. For your first game, I recommend playing one practice hand with no points and no nil bets. With all 4 players sitting at the table, you'll shuffle the deck, and you're going to deal out 5 cards first to all players. Before I deal anybody any cards, you will ask if anybody wants to call a blind nil. If they don't, then you're going to go ahead and deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards to all players. With other players sitting here, by hitting that deal, they would all have cards as well. I could look at my hand, put it in order, see what I've got, and from here, I would want to decide if I want to call a big nil. Once everybody decides that they're going to call big nil or not, then you deal out the rest of the 5 cards. So we're going to deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all players will have 10 cards. These 30 cards would be dealt out to the other 4 players. And we're going to look at our hand and analyze. I'm going to go ahead and put everything in order so that it's easier to see. All right. And I've got a bunch of rock, some paper, and 1 scissors. Here's where I'm going to decide. Players get to pass 1 card. For example, I'm going to take this 11. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to pass it to my partner. And they are going to analyze their hand and do the same and pass a card to me. With a little bit of movie magic, I went ahead and dealt out the rest of the cards and went through a hand and have it set up so that I can show you a playthrough all by myself. If you remember, we took 1 card out of our hand to pass to our teammate. It was a scissors card, ranked 11, so it was 11 of scissors. And they went ahead and passed us their card. Our opposing team also have cards ready to pass. So I passed this one to the blue player, put it on top of their deck, I'm going to take this card, add it to my hand, flip it over, and these guys will take their cards. Once everybody has passed, you can analyze your hands. Normally I'd put this in order so that I could read it, but I put it in order to play through the hand. So the first thing I'm going to do is call for the player who has the 1. The player who has the 1 card is going to play it first, and it's going to be the player to my right. So they're going to take their card, play the 1, and they get to choose whether they want it to be rock, paper, or scissors. He's going to play it as scissors. Scissors is the lead suit. If I have a scissors, now that it's my turn to play, I have to play as scissors. But because I don't, because I passed away my scissors, I've set myself up to be able to play the trump suit, which luckily happens to be rock. I can choose to play a rock or a paper here. If I choose a paper, it's going to be the dead suit, and it's just going to lose to the scissors, whatever the highest scissors out there is. If I play a rock, rock is going to be the trump suit. Rock will trump all scissors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the 2 of rock, because the lowest rock will beat the highest scissor. The player to my left will play now. If they have a scissor, they must play it. So he's going to take his hand, choose, and play. And because he knows that I'm trumping, he's going to just go ahead and play his lowest scissor with no points on it. And my teammate will be the last to play the trick. They're going to play their card. If they have a scissor, they have to play it. So he's played the 4. I'm going to go to, let's try top view for this. Might be a little bit better. There we go. Now that we analyze the cards, the lead suit is scissors. 4 is the highest card. I normally would take the trick, but because I played a rock, rock trumps scissors. And there's no paper out there. So I've won the hand. I'm going to take the trick, hit G to group it, flip it over, turn it sideways, and I'm going to take the trick and set it over here to score later. Now that I've won the trick, the person to my left is going to start the hand. This is a little bit different than other trick-taking games, whereas usually the person that takes the trick will open the next hand. In this game, it's more advantageous to be the last player in a trick. So because I've won the hand, I've won the advantage of going last. So the player to my left is going to go first. They're going to take their card, play it out. The lead suit is rock. The next player, if they have a rock, they must play it. So my partner is going to play a 5. So they've played a 3, he's played a 5. 5 is winning so far. Next player in line, if they have a rock, they must play it. 9, he's going to try and take the trick. He's got the highest rock. I'm going to use the 12. Now that everybody's played, 12 is the highest rock. I've won the hand. I'm going to group it all together, flip it over, turn it, and I'm just going to add it to my pile of taken tricks. Because I won the trick again, the person to my left is going to start the hand. They are going to try to change up. They're going to play the 4 of paper. The next person, if they have a paper, they must play it. He does. He plays a 12. He's going to try to take the trick. Next player, if they have a paper, they must play it. 13, he does. He's going to try and take it with that. And looking at this, the only paper that I have, I got a 6 that's worth 10 points, an 8 that's worth 5, and the 11. Even though the 11 is high, it doesn't have any points. I can't beat this guy. I'm going to give him the 11 because I don't want to give him any points. So now the player to my right, they've won the trick. They're going to group the cards, flip them over, and he's going to take them. Now that he's won the trick, he gets the privilege of going last. So that means the player to his left, me, has to start. I'm going to open with rock with the 7. Next player, if they have a rock, they must play it. Now, they played a paper. That means that they are out of rock. They don't have any rock in hand. So they could play any paper, any scissors, or any bomb, or any poison. He's chosen to play paper, which is going to trump my rock. The lead suit is still rock. He has to play a rock if they have it. They'll play, flip it over. Nope, they're all out of rock as well. So he's played a paper, but he doesn't have a paper high enough, so it looks like they were just going to throw off a 3. The next person, if they have a rock, they must play it. He's out of rock as well. So because nobody has any rock left, the 9 is going to win the suit. We're going to group it together, flip it over, And now they've won the hand again, so I have to open. I'm going to open with the 8 of paper. They're going to take theirs. He'll play. He's out of paper now, so he's going to try to trump with scissors. Next person, if they have a paper, they must play it. If not, they can play something else. Paper, he has to play it. He knows he's getting trumped, so he's just throwing a card with no points on it. Next person, flip. 10 of paper. They're not going to win the hand, but they know their partner is, so he's just went ahead and dumped off a card that's worth 5 points to them. Scissors trumps the hand, so they are going to flip the cards over, group them up, and they'll take these. Now, this player's won the hand. They've won the privilege to go last. The person to their left is going to open. My partner is going to throw the 7 of scissors. Next person, if they have scissors, they must play it. He does. He plays a 9. I don't have any scissors left, so now I can try to trump again with rock and some points, and it's up to this player last. They know that I'm going to win. They may have scissors, but they can choose to play the poison because they know that I'm going to trump and win the suit. They've went ahead and played the poison. They poisoned the trick for me, so I'm going to get negative 15 points. So I have to take this trick. I'm going to flip it over, group it, take it over here, add it to my pile. Turn it sideways. I've won the trick. This person has to go first. The person to my left. They are going to open, and they play the 6 of scissors. My partner will have to play a scissor if they have it. He does. He plays the 12, trumping. Let's see what this person does. They don't have any more scissors, so they can play rock. They're going to try to trump it with the 8 of rock, but my hand was loaded with rock. So I'm going to play the 10. So I will flip these over, group them, and I've won this trick. Because I've won, the person to my left has to open again. He's going to open with the 10 of scissors. If they have a scissors, they have to play it. 11, so they do have a scissors. They're going to try to beat the 10. If they have a scissors, they have to play it. Nope, he does not. This guy knows that I probably have rock to take the suit, and his partner did throw some points out there. So they're going to play the bomb. So even if they had scissors, they're okay to play the bomb because you can play the bomb at any time. No matter what I throw out, it's going to lose. And I'm going to dump the 11, and the bomb will win the trick. So flip it, group it. This person has won the trick. That means that I have to open. I'm just going to open with the 13 of rock. So he's just going to dump off his scissors. The scissors is the dead suit because the rock is there. They also have a scissors, but he's given me some points. And he's got another poison. So even if he had another rock, he can dump off the poison because poison and bombs can be played at any time. So I'm going to get a negative 30. I have to take this trick down. Now, because I've won the trick, again, the person to my left has to open. They got 1 card left, not much of a choice. They're going to go ahead and play it. 13 of scissors. Partner plays their card. Paper. And they get to play a rock. And I also have to play a paper. This is the lead suit. This is the trump suit, and paper is the dead suit. So this paper is dead no matter what it beats. Rock is the trump suit, so it's going to take the trick. Flip, group, and this person has won the last trick. Playing a nil hand. With a little bit more movie magic, I went ahead and set up another hand to play. This time I'm going to choose to do a nil bet. Before the cards were dealt, I chose not to do a blind nil because this would be called before getting dealt any cards. I chose not to do a big nil. I'm going to go ahead and look at my hand of 10 cards and decide if I'm going to play a nil. So analyzing this, it looks pretty good. I've got a poison, pretty much low cards, and these feel like my 2 kind of highest cards. I'm going to call nil. There's a nil bet rule. When any player bets nil, they get to pass 2 cards with their opponent instead of just 1. I'm going to choose the 12 and the 9, flip the 9 of paper and the 12, and these are going to be the 2 cards I give to my opponent. So I'll stack these up here. I will set these out for him. Now my opponent will also go through their hand, and they're going to pick out 2 cards as well. 1, 2. They're going to give me these 2 cards. Our opponents are not going to call nil, and they're going to pass 1 card to each other, and then they're just going to take those. These 2 into my hand. Bring it there. Flip it over. and bring this here and flip it over. So they'll take these and they're going to add them to their hand. Now that everybody's passed, we're going to play out the hand. Whoever has the 1 is going to start, which is going to be the player to my left here. So they're going to play out the 1, and they're going to call paper. So now my teammate's going to go next, and if they got a paper, they must play it. The 9 of paper. They will play the 11 of paper, and I'm going to play the 8. 11 is the highest paper. Person to my right is going to take it down, flip, group, and they've taken this trick. Now that they've taken the trick, the person to their left, me, is going to open. I remember that I passed my partner the 12 of rock. Take this opportunity to get the biggest rock because I know that they can always cover it with the 12 that I passed them. So I'm going to open with rock. It's going to play a 7 of rock. They're going to try to go under me and try to stick me with it. And sure enough, my teammate bails me out. They're not going to try to beat it. So now my teammate has won the trick with the 12. They're going to take this trick. Person to their left is going to open the next trick. Flip, scissors. And it is the 6 of scissors. So I've got a 3, 7, and 5. I'm going to go ahead and pitch the highest card I can to get under it. Their teammate is going to pitch a 13, is going to just pitch a 9. The 13 was over here. They've won the hand, so the person to their left is going to open. So my teammate is going to open with 12. 12 of scissors. This person is going to play an 11. And I'm going to go ahead and pitch the 7, which is my highest scissors card. They're going to go ahead and take it down with a bomb. So even if they had scissors, they could play the bomb, add it to their tricks. They've won the trick again, so the person to the left is going to open. So my teammate is going to open with a 10 of scissors. They're going to play a 4 of rock, so that means that they're out of scissors, and they're choosing to play the trump suit rock. Even though they played rock, I still have to play scissors because the lead suit is scissors. So I'm going to play the 3 of scissors, get rid of my last scissor. They're going to play a 4. So the rock is going to trump the lead suit of scissors, so it trumps the 10. They've taken the trick here. So the person to their left, me, is going to open. I'm just going to safely open with the low rock that I have. We'll play a 2, so they're going to try to sneak under me again and try to force me to take this trick. See if my teammate can bail me out. Sure enough, they got the 13, and this person is going to play a 9. They've won the trick, so the person to their left is going to open. They're going to open with a 6 of rock. So now I've got a choice here. I don't have any rock, so I could play the papers that I have, but paper would trump it. I definitely don't want to do that. So this is where the poisons are going to bail me out. So these make it really safe for nil. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the poison because it is low and it's going to get trumped by whatever. They're going to play the 8 of rock. They're going to go ahead and play scissors, which is the dead suit. So the highest rock is going to take it. They've won the trick. So now the person to their left is going to open. 12 of paper. 13. This is good for me. I'm going to play the highest paper that I have. Go ahead and get it out there. 10. He just fed some points to his teammate. 13 of paper takes it. Person to the left opens, so I get to open. I'm going to go ahead and open with 3 of paper and hope that I'm pretty sure nobody can go under it and my teammate should be able to bail me out. So now he didn't have any paper, so he's going to dump off rock, which is the dead suit. So I'm still winning the hand, so I need my partner to bail me out. 5 of paper. Sure enough, I'm good to go. They played the 6 of paper, so they went ahead and they've taken the trick over here. 6 of paper will take the trick. They've won the hand, so I'm going to go last. Now, the only card I have left is the poison. Because I'm playing poison, I do not get to call the suit. Whatever card they play will be the lead suit, and it's going to be 2 of scissors. Doesn't really matter, we're just on the last card, so we'll play it out. Scissors is going to beat the dead suit of paper, and going to beat that dead suit of paper as well. So I played the poison. They played scissors. That made that the lead suit. So the 2 paper are the dead suit. The scissors has to take it down. We've played out the hand. I bet nil. I didn't take any tricks. So sure enough, I'm going to get the 50 points from this. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to set this over here. I can take my opponent's hand. 5. And again, we're just going to take all the coins and count the coins. Lots and lots of rock. So my teammate has got 10, 15, 20 points. That means that The opposing team will have 80 points. My teammate got 20, I got 50, so we're going to add 70 to 280, which is, sorry guys, I'm going to do a little math here.
5 hours later.
350. Because my teammate got 20, I know that they got 80, so they're going to have 390 plus 80.
Approximately 10 hours later.
So they're going to be at 470. Wrap it up. That does it for this rock, paper, scissors, bomb tutorial. If you have any questions, just head to GameGoblin.com and find me on your favorite social media and just ask. Please like this video, and if you're interested in learning more of my upcoming games, hit that subscribe button. I will also be posting more technical tutorials for creating card and board game art using many different platforms like Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign, and Procreate, and then prepping that art for both print and uploading to Tabletop Simulator. Thanks for watching.